Lieutenant Emma Vasquez had seen some weird stuff in her 3 years with the Merchant Marine Corps, but Station Kepler-7's security checkpoint was shaping up to be a highlight reel of absurdity. The security officer processing her entry was a 4-armed mollusk creature named Trell, who looked like someone had given an octopus anxiety medication and then immediately taken it away. "Right then," Trell said, his translator chip rendering his nervous clicking into passable English. "Standard security protocols. Please place all weapons, energy devices, and armaments on the scanning platform." Emma blinked. "I don't have any." All 4 of Trell's arms froze mid-gesture. "I'm sorry, what?" "I don't have any weapons. I'm unarmed." Trell's eye stalks retracted slightly, which Emma was pretty sure was the alien equivalent of a panic response. "That's not possible. Every registered species carries defensive implements. It's basic galactic protocol." "Well, I'm from Earth, and we were told to come unarmed to avoid, and I quote, diplomatic incidents." The word Earth made Trell's skin ripple with colors Emma didn't have names for. He tapped his console with increasing desperation, and then the checkpoint's AI system, Veritas, chimed in with the enthusiasm of a customer service representative who'd had way too much coffee. "Hello, I am Veritas, your trusted security companion. Scanning entry request for species origin Earth, system Sol, outer spiral arm. Oh my, one moment please." "What's oh my mean?" Emma asked, genuinely curious now. "Is there a problem?" Trell was no longer looking at her. He was looking at his screen the way someone looks at their bank account after a weekend in Vegas. "The system is cross-referencing your species designation. And that's bad because?" "Veritas never cross-references unless there's a security flag. Multiple security flags. All the security flags." The AI's cheerful voice returned. "Cross-reference complete. Species human. Origin Earth. Classification updated. Please hold for security escalation." "Escalation?" Emma set down her coffee, which was terrible, but still better than nothing. "I'm literally just here to register my cargo vessel and grab some supplies." Trell was now typing with all 4 arms simultaneously. "I'm sure this is just a formality, a very serious, possibly career-ending formality. Please do not make any sudden movements." A door hissed open behind the checkpoint, and the largest creature Emma had ever seen ducked through it. He looked like someone had crossbred a rhinoceros with a tank and given it PTSD. His uniform indicated he was Captain Rourke, the station's security chief. Rourke looked at Emma, looked at the screen, looked at Emma again. "Earth," he said flatly. "Yep," Emma confirmed. "Nope." Rourke turned around. "Captain, please," Trell squeaked. "Security protocol requires your authorization for code-level threats." Rourke stopped walking. His massive shoulders sagged in a way that suggested he'd lost a very important internal argument. "Fine, but I'm filing this under hazard pay." Veritas, apparently oblivious to the tension in the room, launched into what sounded like a prepared presentation. "Accessing Earth Historical Database. Initial contact established galactic year 2847. Species classified as carbon-based bipedal. Technology level 3. Curiosity index off the charts. Danger assessment adorably primitive." Emma raised an eyebrow. "Adorably primitive? That's weirdly insulting." "The classification was updated 17 times. Veritas continued cheerfully. "Most recent designation pending review after, let me see, 47 incident reports, 12 diplomatic complaints, and 1 formal apology from your entire planet that somehow made things worse." "That sounds about right for humanity, yeah," Emma admitted. Trell was scrolling through something on his screen, and his color was shifting toward what Emma assumed was the alien equivalent of pale. "Captain, these incident reports are, extensive." "Don't read them," Rourke said. He'd positioned himself near the door, clearly planning his escape route. "Seriously, for your own mental health, don't read them." "But protocol requires—" "Protocol doesn't account for humans." Emma was starting to enjoy this. She took another sip of terrible coffee. "You know, you guys are acting like I showed up with a nuclear warhead. I'm literally unarmed. I have 3 cargo containers of soybeans and a bottle of hot sauce in my ship. That's it." Veritas piped up again. Initial Earth assessment indicated minimal threat capacity. However, subsequent observations have noted a concerning pattern of adaptability and improvisation. "Improvisation?" Emma asked. Veritas, shut down, Rourke tried. I'm sorry, Captain, but security protocols require full disclosure for code-level reviews. Accessing Incident Report Alpha 79. 3 Galactic Standard years ago, human freighter Captain Marcus Webb was boarded by pirates near the Helix Nebula. His ship's weapons systems were completely disabled, and his cargo was non-military agricultural equipment. Okay, Emma said. Captain Webb repaired his quantum drive mid-combat using duct tape, positive thinking, and what he described as spite. He then used the resulting radiation burst to disable all 6 pirate vessels. Trell's eye stalks were fully retracted now. That's impossible. Quantum drives can't be field repaired. They especially can't be weaponized. The Engineering Guild reviewed the case, Veritas said. Their official statement was, and I quote, "How in the 7 hells did he do that? And please make sure he never does it again." Rourke grunted. He did it again, twice. Emma grinned. That's Marcus for you. Good guy. Owes me $20. Veritas was on a roll now, and apparently there was no stopping it. Incident Report Beta 3-4. Human diplomat Jessica Torres ended a 3-decade border conflict between the Vraxian Collective and the Terminus Alliance. That doesn't sound threatening, Trell ventured hopefully. She did so without a single weapon or military engagement. Her method involved psychological warfare, passive-aggressive email chains, and something called a group chat where she added both faction leaders and refused to let them leave until they worked out their differences. Emma snorted coffee through her nose. Oh, I heard about that. Jess is a legend. The Vraxian commander apparently begged for traditional warfare because it would be less painful. Both sides filed formal complaints. Veritas continued. Both complaints were identical. Both stated, "Please never send her back. We will maintain peace forever if it means we never have to receive another one of her emails." Rourke nodded slowly. She used Comic Sans font in official galactic treaty documents. Comic Sans. That's a war crime by Earth standards too, Emma assured him. Trell was reading ahead now, and his color had shifted to something between purple and green. Oh no. Oh no, Captain, there's one here about a mining station. The Kepler-7 incident, Rourke said, his voice hollow. I was there. Veritas cheerfully provided context. Human engineer Patricia Okonkwo was stationed at the Kepler-7 mining facility when it was attacked by mercenaries. All security personnel were incapacitated within the first 3 minutes. The station's defense systems were offline. Patricia was alone in the engineering bay. And? Emma asked, leaning forward now. She converted a mining laser into a precision weapons platform using, according to her incident report, the power of poor life choices and YouTube tutorials, whatever those are. Wait, Patricia had internet access out there? No, Rourke said. She memorized the tutorials before she left Earth, just in case she ever needed to weaponize industrial equipment. That's just good planning, Emma said reasonably. Trell made a sound like air escaping from a balloon. She held off 15 armed mercenaries for 6 hours using a laser designed to cut rocks. The mercenaries surrendered and requested asylum from her specifically. The interrogation transcripts are fascinating, Veritas added. The mercenary captain stated he would rather face trial in a maximum security prison than spend another minute wondering what the angry human would do next. Emma shrugged. Patricia always was creative. She sent me a birthday card once that played music for 3 months straight. I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. You're proving our point, Rourke muttered. Trell was spiraling now. Emma could tell because he was typing with all 4 arms at different speeds, which created a sort of panicked percussion. I need to classify your threat level, but the system won't accept any of my inputs. Every category I try gets flagged. Try unarmed civilian, Emma suggested helpfully. Rejected. Humans are never classified as unarmed. I'm literally showing you my empty hands right now, Veritas interrupted. Database indicates humans weaponize available materials regardless of original purpose, displaying confiscated items from human travelers across the galaxy. A holographic display appeared, showing what looked like evidence from a very confused crime scene. Trell read the list aloud, his voice climbing in pitch with each item. Lunchbox, used as bludgeoning device. Ballpoint pen, employed as stabbing implement. Coffee mug, thrown at velocity sufficient to cause concussion. Reading tablet used as blunt force trauma device. Prosthetic leg, no further details available. Incident classified. Okay, the prosthetic leg thing was probably Kevin, Emma said. That guy's unhinged. But the rest of this is just common sense. You work with what you have. The checkpoint door opened again, and a new alien entered. This one looked like someone had crossed a peacock with a corporate executive and given it a superiority complex. His translator tag identified him as Ambassador Cleeth. What is the meaning of this delay? Cleeth demanded. I have an appointment with the station commander in 20 minutes. Security review, Ambassador, Trell explained, looking relieved to have someone else to defer to. The human's weapon status is unclear. Cleeth's feathers ruffled. Nonsense. Humans are a civilized species, approved for galactic trade and diplomatic relations. This is clearly an overreaction to their colorful history. Colorful is one word for it, Rourke said. Emma decided to be helpful. Want me to prove I'm unarmed? Please, Cleeth said dismissively. Okay, so using only materials currently in this checkpoint, I could convert that oxygen regulator into a projectile weapon by reversing the pressure valve. That data pad could be reprogrammed to overload its battery and create a small explosive. The scanning platform's magnetic field could be weaponized to disable your security systems. Your coffee maker could be dismantled for its heating element and wiring, both useful. That potted plant has a dense ceramic base, excellent throwing weight. And Trell's stylus, if properly angled, would make an effective... Cleeth fainted. Just straight up collapsed in a heap of fancy feathers. Trell stared at Emma. Rourke nodded approvingly despite himself. You didn't even touch anything, Trell whispered. You asked me to prove I was unarmed, not harmless. Those are very different things. Accessing classified files. Captain Rourke, authorization required. Rourke sighed. Authorized. Might as well get the whole nightmare out. Earth species designation updated to level 4 concern. However, analysis indicates the concern is not based on natural aggression or violence. Comparing statistics. Holographic charts appeared in the air. Emma actually paid attention to these. Humans rank 47th in natural physical strength among spacefaring species, 92nd in sensory capability, 103rd in environmental adaptation. Their technology, while adequate, is not exceptional. Their weapons are conventional. Their ships are functional but unremarkable. So why the panic? Emma asked. Resourcefulness index, first among all recorded species. Adaptability under pressure, first among all recorded species. Refusal to accept impossible scenarios, first among all recorded species by a statistically improbable margin. Trell looked confused. I don't understand. Rourke did, though. Emma could see it in his expression. They're not afraid of what humans have. They're afraid of what humans do when they don't have. Correct. Veritas confirmed. When the Vraxian face a problem, they apply existing doctrine. When the Kelmorians encounter obstacles, they retreat and plan. When the Thros meet challenges, they rely on superior technology. Humans, however, treat impossible as a suggestion. They improvise, they adapt, they combine unrelated concepts. They refuse to accept that something cannot be done simply because it has never been done before. Emma set down her coffee. This was actually getting interesting. You're scared because we're stubborn. Not scared, Rourke corrected. Concerned. There's a difference. Your species has been in galactic society for less than a century. In that time, you've MacGyvered more solutions to unsolvable problems than most species manage in a millennium. Do you understand how unsettling that is? I really don't. Veritas provided context. The quantum drive repair was declared impossible by 7 different engineering schools. The diplomatic resolution violated 4 established psychological warfare treaties that specifically banned her tactics because no one thought they were possible. The mining laser incident required calculations that should have taken hours, which she performed mentally while under fire. So we're good at thinking outside the box, Emma said. You don't have a box, Trell said quietly. That's the problem. Every other species has limitations they accept. Humans have limitations they interpret as challenges. Emma thought about that. About Marcus keeping his crew alive through sheer spite. About Jess ending a war with weaponized annoyance. About Patricia turning mining equipment into a defense system because giving up wasn't in her vocabulary. You want to know the real secret? Emma asked. It's not that we're special. It's that we spent millennia on a planet that tried really hard to kill us, and we took that personally. We didn't have natural weapons, so we made them. We couldn't survive the cold, so we invented fire. We couldn't fly, so we built machines. Every single impossible thing in human history started with someone saying, "Watch me." Cleith had woken up during this speech and was listening, while pretending not to. We don't carry weapons because we don't need to, Emma continued. We've spent our entire existence turning everything into weapons. Rocks, sticks, agriculture, mathematics, social pressure. Even peace, apparently. You're not looking at someone dangerous. You're looking at someone whose entire species is a case study in refusing to accept the word no. The checkpoint was quiet for a moment. That was surprisingly profound, Trell admitted. I have my moments. It took another 15 minutes of deliberation, 3 more consultations with Veritas, and 1 emergency call to the station commander before they reached a decision. Emma spent the time finishing her terrible coffee and rating the various weapons she could theoretically make from checkpoint equipment, just to pass the time. Finally, Trell returned with a special badge. It was orange, which Emma assumed meant something specific in galactic bureaucracy. This badge designates you as armed by default, Trell explained. It grants you full station access, but also notifies all security personnel of your presence and species designation. Emma looked at the badge. It literally said, "Human, approach with caution and professional respect." This is the most backhanded security clearance I've ever seen. It's the best we can do, Rourke said. You're simultaneously not a threat and our highest security concern. I'm filing that under compliments, Emma decided, clipping the badge to her jacket. Cleith, fully recovered and trying to maintain his dignity, sniffed dismissively. This entire incident was overblown. Humans are perfectly civilized members of the galactic community. Thank you, Ambassador, Emma said. However, I recommend you avoid the engineering deck, the security offices, and anywhere with tools, chemicals, or loose objects. So basically stay in my ship. That would be ideal, yes. The moment would have ended there, a neat little bureaucratic nightmare wrapped up with a bow, except the universe has a sense of humor. The station's alarm system activated, red lights flashing, and Veritas's voice lost all its cheerfulness. Security alert. Unauthorized docking in Base 7. Multiple armed hostiles detected. All personnel initiate lockdown procedures. Pirates. Of course it was pirates. Rourke immediately drew his weapon, a nasty-looking plasma rifle that probably cost more than Emma's ship. Trell scrambled for the security panel. Cleith made a sound like a stepped-on squeaky toy. Emma calmly set down her empty coffee cup. Anybody have a maintenance kit? What? Trell looked at her like she'd started speaking backward. Maintenance kit, basic tools. Also, I'm going to need 3 energy drinks in that potted plant over there. Rourke understood first. Emma could see the moment it clicked, the same moment he decided to either be terrified or impressed. He chose impressed, probably because he was already too tired for more terror. Trell, get her the kit. But Captain, get her the kit, grab the plant, and someone find energy drinks. Now. 5 minutes later, Emma had converted the security checkpoint into what could only be described as a disaster, waiting for pirates to walk into it. The oxygen regulator was now positioned to discharge at pressure levels that would incapacitate without killing. The scanning platform's magnetic field had been reversed and amplified. The coffee maker, rest in peace, had been completely disassembled, its components now part of a tripwire system that would have made Patricia proud. The potted plant sat in the middle of the corridor, because Emma believed in psychological warfare. Why the plant? Trell asked. Because when they're all unconscious or confused and we're reviewing the security footage, someone's going to ask how it happened. And the answer will be a human, 3 energy drinks, and a houseplant. That story will spread. Rourke actually smiled. You're terrifying. Thanks. I try. The pirates made it exactly 7 meters past Base 7 before Emma's improvised security system activated. There was a lot of shouting, some very confused screaming, and the distinctive sound of the magnetic field doing exactly what Emma had calculated it would do to their metal armor. 12 minutes after the alarm started, Station security had rounded up 15 very disoriented pirates who kept asking what hit them. The answer, according to the security report, was a human with a maintenance kit and poor impulse control. Emma collected her badge, thanked Trell for his patience, and headed toward the supply depot. Behind her, she could hear Rourke already on the comm to Station Command. "Yes, sir, another incident report. Yes, it involves a human. No, nobody died. Yes, I know this is the third one this month. No, sir, I don't think we can ban them. They're already registered with the Trade Authority." "Yes, sir. I'll add it to the file." Veritas's voice followed Emma down the corridor, cheerful again. "Earth species file updated. New classification. Why do they keep surprising us? Have a pleasant day, Lieutenant Vasquez." Emma grinned. "You too, Veritas. You too." 3 days later, while Emma was halfway to her next destination, she received a message from Station Kepler-7. It was from Trell, and it contained a single line. "Submitted retirement paperwork. Best of luck. Please never come back. Respectfully, Officer Trell." Emma sent back a reply. "See you next month for resupply, bringing cookies." She never got a response. Somewhere in the galactic database, Earth's file gained another entry. The title read, "She walked in empty-handed. The station will never recover." Captain Rourke, reading the report over his morning coffee, decided that humanity wasn't the problem. The problem was that the rest of the galaxy had forgotten what it meant to be genuinely, creatively, unstoppably stubborn. Maybe that wasn't such a bad thing to remember. Even if it came with duct tape, improvised weapons, and energy drinks. Especially if it came with those things,